Not too long ago, we made a video about finding a bunch of Dell Optiplexes at a yard sale. That wasn't the only thing we found. Budget mics, anybody? Yeah, we're going to explore this because it might seem like it's good. I mean, for $3, it can't be too bad, right? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, so the microphone I'm using right now is a Fifine. It's a USB mic. I've been using it for a couple years now. It's done great. It's a budget type microphone and it has done just fine. I don't remember how much I got the kit for. In my case, I'm using it on a stand. It does come with a swing arm. But the kit that I found at the yard sale came with a USB adapter, the microphone, a couple of cords, power supply. Came with the XLR to 3.5 millimeter. It also came with an XLR cord from, say, the microphone to the power supply. We're going to test out a couple of things. We're going to test out what it sounds like with the USB adapter. We're going to test out what it sounds like plugged into the back of the PC, so you don't need power. And then we're going to test it with the power supplies just to see if there's any difference. The biggest disadvantage to this is there is no volume adjustment or gain adjustment like there is on the Fifine. So I might have to do some adjusting that way. Hopefully we will try to figure something out. I want to make sure that the levels are similar to the Fifine when I go to record. So I might have to do something there, but I am not going to try to mess with the audio quality. All I'm going to do is try to just adjust the gain slightly so we can hear the difference and see if it sounds any better. So let's get on with the test. I will go ahead and test the microphone, and then I will test the Fifine again, or I'll show, kind of switch back and forth so we can tell the difference and see. One thing I'm sure you will notice, I did some preliminary tests. The volume level is much, much lower because there is no gain adjustment for the XLR mic. Even though it's a budget mic, it's still XLR, which could give us an advantage if I decide to use some kind of deck and use gain adjustment on it. So we'll just have to see. So the first thing I noticed, I have to move this a lot closer to my mouth to be able to pick it up on the USB. I don't think that's going to be a practical solution at all. I've got Windows. The Windows settings are maxed out at 100%. So is OBS. You see how close I am to the microphone. Anyway, the other thing that's really annoying about this is that, that USB adapter is just flashing. And it's annoying. It's flashing red, and you can't see it on camera, but that's a constant annoyance. And I don't see that it's doing any good or any better. I'm hoping that the other settings work better and then we can hear them. But yeah, I don't need this like right up against my mouth. So yeah, we'll see. So switching back to the Fifine, which is what I have been using, I can set this at 90% in Windows. I can set it at 100% on OBS. I can talk at a comfortable level. I don't feel like I have to try to put it right up to my mouth or try to over-enunciate something so it sounds clear. When I get into editing, I'll be able to see what my feeling is on this. When I did the dry run to begin with, the sound levels were way, way low, and it was hard to hear. I'm hoping that I've gotten that problem out of the way, at least for the most part. And I'm just going to give it to you guys straight. If I have to increase the volume so you can hear, I will go ahead and put that on the screen. I'll let you know that. So the next thing we do is we plug it directly into the back of the PC, and then we use the power supply to see if either one of those make a difference. I'm not impressed with the USB adaptation of this whatsoever. None. Okay, one of the things we will have to be conscious of is the volume level or the gain level that we set Windows and OBS at, so we can get something that's going to sound similar to the Fifine. There are no volume or gain adjustments on the microphone itself or on the power supply when we go to use it. So we're going to have to be a little bit, I don't want to say creative, but I do have to make some adjustments in Windows so this is loud enough that you can hear it. The first time through, we couldn't hear anything. It wasn't going to work at all. Now, hopefully I have this where these sound similar enough that we can get a good idea of the sound quality, and then later we'll address the gain issue that I have. We will not be able to put this microphone in the same position we would the Fifine because of that gain adjustment, but I mean, maybe it'll work out. We'll see. So plugged directly into the back of the PC does sound a little bit better. I think it sounds better or the levels were actually higher with the power supply than they were without, so that might be an option. I think I can leave the microphone down at about the same level as the Fi-Fine, although I do, on Windows, it appears I have to crank that up to a full 100% instead of the 90% that the Fi-Fine, the USB mic, sits at. I think if I was going to use if I was going to use the XLR, I would get me a sound deck of some type, or an amp of some type with gain adjustments, just so I could vary that. But I don't know, and I will find out here in a few moments what the sound quality is like and what I actually think if I would try to use this in any way. So let me listen to a little bit of that, and I'll tell you guys what I think afterward. Okay, now this is with the power supply plugged in, and we can more readily put this down at the same level as a Fi-Fine and not have as many problems. So this might actually be a good idea to use the power supply. As far as sound quality, I don't know yet. The first time through the test, it was too low to be able to get an idea of what the actual sound quality was. Hopefully this is better. This looks more closely, when I'm looking at OBS, it looks more closely to the sound levels that the Fi-Fine has, so we'll just have to see how it sounds. I'm going to try not to do too much in post to make these sound audible. And if there's any kind of garbled or anything like that, I'm not changing it. I'll just put subtitles, or this might just be a highlight of something I'm trying to do. But hopefully this will sound decent. And I do see a difference in the audio levels when I use the power supply as opposed to not. Again, there's no gain adjustments on this equipment. So it's just straight into whatever levels that Windows and OBS has. So again, that's the other tests. We're going to have to form our own conclusions. I'll listen to this back, see what it sounds like, and I'll be able to tell you what I think in comparison. I don't know if this is something I want to use or not, but we'll kind of see. Okay, so there we have it. Yeah, the BM800. Not bad for a budget mic. Out of all the options, I believe the best option is going to be to use the power supply. I think the best option is to use a deck with a gain adjustment. Barring that, I think the next best option is go ahead and use the power supply that's with it to plug in directly into the back of using a 3.5 millimeter. There will be some other options I will explore now that I've done this. Obviously, this is not something that I'm going to right away swap over everything. I'm quite happy with the mic I'm using. I've got levels adjusted where I'm pretty happy with it overall, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, I can't complain for $3. Okay, we'll put it that way. And overall, I think it would be a decent backup, and I could probably set up either another streaming setup with it or use it when I go say to my sisters or something like that when I'm out and about streaming somewhere else, and without necessarily having to use a headset. Now, because it's portable, I probably will use a headset. Just it's easier to do. But nice to know that this might be an option. And it might be a little bit more of a permanent option. And it might be worth looking at XLR mics. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments that are going to tell me I need to get a Shure or I need to get a Rhodes mic or something. And I get it. But there's one thing that I haven't had an issue with is the mic that I think I paid, I don't know, like $44 for the whole set or something 4 years ago. And it's done me pretty well so far. So we'll see if I might explore a little bit in this realm. So that's going to wrap it up for this. I just wanted to kind of test out these microphones, or this microphone that I got at the yard sale, and see if it was worth it. It was worth $3. I think so. I don't know if I would pay full price on Amazon or Newegg or something for a kit, but I might if it was somewhere to start with while I sort of build out my XLR collection, or just, upgrade everything. Yeah, it might very well be worth it. I might try that. If I do try that, it will be on this channel, ThatPaulGuyGaming. I'm going to move all the stuff that has to do with Stream Deck or headsets or microphones or gaming of any of that type from the main channel, which is mainly PCs and all, over to this channel, which has been highlights of No Man's Sky recently. See if I can't build both of them up a little bit and make this one sort of functioning or kind of focused on gaming and things having to do with gaming or streaming. So maybe that's the avenue we'll have to take. But yeah, so look forward to that. I know there's a very few subscribers right now. Please, if you're not already subscribed, please like the video if you will. Go ahead and check out the other socials and all that stuff. But if you don't do anything else, just do me one favor, and that's just be kind to each other. Smile, wave, hold the door open, say good morning, something. You never know, you really never know when you might be the thing that makes somebody's day better. So, until next time when I get myself in something I got no business getting into, now on 2 different channels, we'll figure it out. I'll see you later.